All right, guys, and hey, congratulations! You're taking the next your next steps in your journey. We're doing a bunch of training right now. We're going through the modules, going through each aspect of acquisitions and sales. And guys, this is really sales mastery, right? It's being a master communicator, master at dealing with people. We just so happen to be working in the real estate wholesaling space, but these sales tactics and trainings can apply in all aspects of life. So I'm really excited that you're doing this. All right. Now, this video in this module is going to be really, really important. So don't overlook this. It's really, really critical that you understand this concept and really embody this 100%. Guys, we always must be the pro. At all times, we have to remain the professional. At all times. It doesn't matter what deal we're doing, what situation we're going through, we always have to be the professional and maintain credibility in the marketplace. Now, I want to go over a little bit of some information on how we can do that, but number one, I want to break down why it's important, okay? Now, the reason why it's important to remain as a professional when you're dealing with sellers is because if you do that and you remain the professional, you remain the expert, they will trust you and they will respect you. It's going to be really difficult to do a deal with a seller if they don't trust you and they don't respect you, okay? The first one is trust. Trust is critical. That's the currency of everything. We start with trust and then we build into obviously the respect factor. But if you remain the pro, they're going to trust and respect you. And they're going to test this out with you a couple of times. They're going to kind of see, how far they can take a situation. They may test your boundaries a little bit to see if you're really, you're really an expert in the marketplace and you know what you're talking about, right? And so it's important that you always, maintain being the professional. So if you do that, they're going to trust you and they're going to respect you a lot more than if you don't. Now, if you don't remain the professional, it's going to discredit what you're doing. It's going to actually take away and discredit maybe some of the things you're saying in the deal. It's not going to hold as much weight, and it's very unlikely they're going to move forward with you because there is a lower level of trust and respect. So that's the importance of why we need to be the pro. Let's kind of break down a little bit real quick of how we can be the professional. And in this module, we're going to have a bunch of information on here, but on this video, we're going to go over 3 different ways on how to always be the professional. Number 1. Establish and maintain authority. Establish and maintain authority. Now, you need to position yourself as an authority in every deal, in every single deal. It doesn't matter if you're talking to Miss Susie Smith in Seattle, Washington, or you're talking to John Williams in Tampa, Florida. You always need to remain and position yourself as authority on every single deal from the very start. And you need to reinforce your authority and expertise in the negotiation process at all times, okay? This is really, really, really important. This is gonna help you negotiate. If you establish from the beginning that you're an authority, it's gonna help you with your negotiation. Now, what are some ways that you can do that? Well, number 1, it's tonality, right? Tonality, rate of speech. How fast are we talking? Typically, when you're dealing with sellers, you want to be calm, you want to be cool, you want to be in control. I think from the very beginning of a phone call, you should always start the phone call with being cool, calm, collected, and confident, right? The 4 C's: cool, calm, collected, and confident. So you can kind of see what the seller's doing, and the seller can kind of give you some insight on their avatar, and you can adjust accordingly. But what I see a lot of salespeople do is they go, they're too over enthusiastic in the beginning, or they're talking too fast or talking too much. They're not listening to the seller. They're not letting the seller speak. They're not letting the seller communicate. This lowers your ability to have authority and expertise on the deal. It actually positions you as an amateur at that place. It's going to be hard for them to take you serious if you're over enthusiastic on the first 2 minutes, or you're overdoing it, or you're talking like a crazy person, or you're going into long-winded sentences. This can create uncertainty for them, right? It's like, man, who am I dealing with? Like, I don't know if I want to deal with this guy, right? Like, this guy might not be a professional. He may not know what he's talking about. Guys, life ain't always fair. It is what it is. It's how people perceive us. So we want to make sure that on the beginning of the call, establish authority from the beginning, and do it by being cool, calm, collected, and confident. Allow them to talk 80% of the time. You should lead the conversation, but allow the seller to communicate. Allow the seller to speak. Allow the seller to say what they need to say, and you just need to be the pro, be the expert. Yeah, take notes, ask them good questions. Repeat back to them what they said so they understand that you did hear them. But in the very beginning, guys, definitely keep your cards a little bit closer to you. Don't just spill the beans and go into a long rant about how you're going to help them sell their house. Let them talk. Let them communicate. Position yourself as the authority. Hold the line. Be cool, calm, collected, and confident. Okay. The second thing is dealing with difficult sellers. Okay. Guys, welcome to the business. You're going to be dealing with a lot of difficult sellers. This happens, okay? It happens. It's normal. It's a normal thing. There's going to be a lot of sellers that are going to be difficult, okay? It doesn't mean the deal's not going to happen. It doesn't mean the deal's not going to close. It doesn't mean they're not going to sell you the house. They just may be a little bit difficult. Once again, I want to go back to the 4 C's. Cool, calm, collected, confident. Cool, calm, collected, and confident. These are the 4 C's, guys, okay? So make sure you reiterate this more and more into your head. Cool, calm, collected, and confident. When you're dealing with difficult sellers, you need to be firm but respectful. Firm but respectful. Definitely, I'm not advocating disrespecting a seller. If you do that, it's the quickest way for them to hang up on you, and the quickest way that you're not going to do a deal. But you have to be firm. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not firm with difficult sellers, they're going to push you all over the place, and the deal's going to fall apart because there's no structure, there's no leadership. The seller thinks they can do whatever they want, and the deal's going to freaking fall apart. You have to be firm. Set good boundaries when you're dealing with a difficult seller, and communicate clearly. Be clear and concise with your communication. Keep the over explanations to a minimum. Keep the long-winded communication to a minimum. Be very clear and concise. Be firm. Hold a strong line, but be respectful. Be respectful of the seller's situation and what they're going through, so they feel heard and they feel like there's a genuine connection there. But you have to be firm, okay? So with difficult sellers, it's the 4 C's, right? Cool, calm, collected, and confident. And then be firm, but be respectful. Firm and respectful. You have that toolkit with a difficult seller, you're gonna be okay. And you'll get the deal closed. Where it can get messy, and I'm telling you, is when you are not firm and you're too loose and your communication is very unclear and you're not holding a strong boundary. What do I mean by that? If they're calling you 19 times in a row, probably inappropriate, right? You need to let them know, hey, this is inappropriate. I can't do business this way. Mr. Seller, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a call tomorrow at 3 o'clock, okay? And that call's gonna be 15 minutes. I'm not gonna take any calls before then. So we'll talk tomorrow at 3 o'clock, but you calling me 18 times in a row is inappropriate. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. That's being firm and being respectful. So I'm not advocating being disrespectful, but you have to be firm. Guys, what's crazy is they're gonna respond well to this. They're actually gonna respond well to this. They probably need someone to help them out in the situation because they probably are going through a little bit of anxiety. They're uncertain, this is a scary thing. They're selling their property. So you need to be strong. You need to be firm, be principled, be cool, calm, collected, and composed. Lead the charge. Let them understand that you're a pro, you're an expert, you're the authority, you're the professional, you're in charge, they're in good hands, okay? Last but not least, protect your credibility. Protect your credibility. What do I mean by that? Don't over-explain, okay? If you're talking with a seller and the seller says, hey, Blake, I saw a Google review. It's a 2-star review. And they said that you guys are this and this and this. Here's what you want to do. Hey, Mr. Seller, I totally understand. We do a lot of good business. Sometimes, people aren't happy. It doesn't matter what we do, they're not happy. Now, regarding your situation, we're going to get this done. How can I help you? Or in redirect. What did I do there? I acknowledged. I did not over-explain. I did not apologize. Mr. Seller, I completely get it. Yep, that's a 2-star review. And you know what? We do a lot of good business. We have a lot of good reviews, and we do a lot of transactions. Unfortunately, you can't make everybody happy. No matter what happens on the deal, some people aren't going to be happy. Now, regarding your situation, Mr. Seller, I'm confident we can get you closed in 20 days. How do you want to go about this? And I redirect. Okay, so that's what you want to do. If a seller brings up something on a Google review, a BBB review, or they're in some way they're questioning your credibility, just be clear, concise. Don't apologize. Do not apologize and do not over-explain. Acknowledge, and then let them know how many transactions you guys do. You do a lot of good business, and some people just aren't going to be happy, and then redirect immediately. No, don't leave any gaps, okay? Don't leave any gaps open for them to interject. Let's go through this one more time. Mr. Seller, I completely understand. I see that there's a 2-star review. We do a lot of good business, and we do a lot of transactions. Unfortunately, you can't make everybody happy in this business. It doesn't matter what you do. Now, regarding your situation, I'm confident we can get you closed in 21 days. How do you want to go about this? And then you redirect. You see how quick that is? It's seamless, okay? So never over-explain. And never give long-winded explanations. Be clear and concise and never apologize. Don't let a seller beat up your credibility. Be the pro. Always remain the professional. Keep high altitude in the marketplace. You don't have to over-explain yourself. You don't have to overdo it and apologize. You do good business. You're great at what you do. You're an expert. Remember, guys, you do more real estate in 1 week than the average person does in an entire lifetime. Sometimes we forget about that, but you're a real estate expert. You're a real estate authority. You talk about more real estate in 1 day than most people do in their life. So guys, own that. That's a skill. You earned it. You deserve it. Be the professional at all times.